Hi everyone, Karen here with another video. Welcome back to our channel and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and because I know you're going to love all of our videos. So this video was inspired by a subscriber question about my salt cellars or salt containers or whatever you want to call them. I have two of them. Actually, I have three, actually, now that I think about it. And my reasoning, the person asked my reasoning for having them. And, I'm assuming that you've probably seen it in the videos when I'm cooking. So, let me just give you a little backstory here. So, in our home, obviously I've been cooking for a very long time. And I've said it in previous videos. My sisters and I, we, stood in the kitchen with my mom, learned how to cook, and my mom just did not measure, okay? She just did not measure. So anytime I call her now and I'll say, hey, Mom, remember when you cook this, can you give me the ingredients or give me the recipe? And she'll say, girl, I do not know. I'll ask her for measurements and she's like, you just, feel the love. And sprinkle it in. So with that being said, a lot of family recipes, I've had to navigate them in terms of, she could tell me the ingredients, but she couldn't tell me how much salt to use or what have you, or the spices. She told me what spices and all the ingredients, but not how much salt. Anyway, so I used to use a salt shaker, but I realized when I moved towards away from using a lot of fine salt, that when you move towards a coarser salt, you use less salt. And we hear so much about not being careful with how much salt we use and what have you. I find that people don't necessarily use, people use too much salt, but most people undersalt their foods, or they don't season the food enough. And mind you, you can use salt in tandem with your herbs and spices to season your food. But the salt containers, the salt cellars, are really good if you know how to, after a while, you know how much salt you're going to pick up to season. And no one really does, but you also know when you're pinching it, how many pinches. After a while, you start to learn how many pinches of salt you need in order to properly season whatever dish you have. Then on top of that, in our home also, we use I have 4 different types of salt on rotation. So I have the Himalayan pink salt. I use a coarse ground salt. I also use a fine salt for baking. And then I have a salt that is mixed with herbs or spices. And that's what we have on hand. It sounds like a lot of salt, but most of them are used for different things. And so these containers, not only, and I get the ones with the lid, so I am going to show you one today that does not have a lid. You can get salt cellars from just about any place. Today I'm going to show you a few some from Target, Crate & Barrel, Creuset, and they go from anywhere from $5.99 all the way up to, you can go to $80, $90, $100 for a salt cellar. It just depends on what you are interested in. And in this, I'm also going to show you the 2 that I have purchased and that I have on hand and have had them for a long time. And if you've never used a salt cellar before, it's very simple. You're basically just going to fill it up with salt, and it helps you manage the amount of salt you're using in your food. It makes it so much easier to have it on hand and ready to go when you are cooking. And it's just trial and error in terms of seasoning your food and making sure that you're getting enough salt in there so that your food is properly seasoned. Like I always say, there's nothing worse than unseasoned food. Yeah, you can't save it really, but it's better to undersalt than to oversalt, because at least if you're undersalting your food, you can add what you need. But when it's over salted, most of the time it becomes inedible. So enough rambling, let's get into it. So the first item that I have used is called the first item that I have used is called the ceramic salt cellar. It's $7.99 and from Crate and Barrel. It's 3.75 inches in diameter and 2.5 inches tall. Now most of these are going to have the same width as well as height, except for one. And like I said, it's $7.99. Then you also have next, you have the Ina white salt cellar with a spoon for $14.95, also from Crate and Barrel. But I have the first one, which is the ceramic salt cellar at $7.99. See, I told you, mine don't cost that much. You can also get salt cellars that are in wood. The acacia wood salt cellar is $14.99, also from Crate and Barrel. Moving away from Crate and Barrel, we have the Creuset salt crock for $40. Now, it comes in 4 colors, but 3 are available currently. 1 is sold out. This one does not have you can't close it, so it's open all the time. I don't know how I feel about that in terms of it being exposed to the elements, but hey, you can also use it for different things. I was thinking about that when I looked at it. I mean, especially at $40, you might want to have like multiple uses for it. Next up is another one that I have from Target, stoneware salt cellar for $5.99. This one is actually part of the Magnolia collection. At our Target, I don't see it available in store, but it's a really good one. It's a stoneware, and I've had it the longest, and it's done really well. It stays cool, so it keeps your salt cool. And then last but not least, you have the Williams-Sonoma Marble Salt Keeper at $34.98. And the marble will keep the salt really cool, and it's going to have that lid on top for extra security in terms of, not being exposed to the elements and becoming and drying out. But I hope that answers any questions that you have. Let me know what you think of salt cellars. Do you use them? If you don't, have you ever thought about using one? And if not, what keeps you from purchasing it? We don't really have salt shakers around here. Do I have a salt shaker? I don't think I do. I used to, but we don't use them anymore. I just put if people need salt, they can just grab a pinch of it. But yeah, I don't have a salt shaker. Interesting. Never really thought about it. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!